Hello, fourth grade. This is our review for adjectives that compare using ER and EST. Before we get started, I'll remind you of our YouTube video. If you go and follow the link, it'll give you the Schoolhouse Rock video with adjectives. So a quick review of adjectives. Remember, they describe nouns and they tell what kind or how many. Or what kind? Remember, what kind tells about color, size, and type. A few examples. Max has a red pencil. Pencil is the noun. Red is the adjective. It tells what color the pencil is. Second example, the big dog belongs to Emily. Dog is the noun. What kind of dog? It is big. So that's telling you what kind, describing the noun. The other thing we use adjectives for is to tell how many. This includes all the numbers as well as number words. And by that, I mean a few, many, some, and this also includes ages. So if you're saying someone is a 10-year-old student at Resurrection Academy, that 10-year-old would be an adjective. It's a describing word. A few more examples. Noah has a few minutes to work on Spanish. Minutes is the noun. Few would be how many minutes he has. That's the adjective. Rochelle's mom bought her 5 new erasers. Again, erasers is the noun, and 5 is how many. New is what kind. Both of those are adjectives. So I highlighted both of them, and they're separated with a comma. Remember, when we do ordering of adjectives, the number, the how many, comes first, and then the what kind. So our second part of the review, adjectives that compare two nouns. They're comparative. We use them to compare one noun to the other, so only two. Two items are being compared when we do this, and we use ER as the ending. Examples, the bluebird is prettier than the redbird. The small cat is cuter than the big one. And again, the key word in both of those is than. When you see that word, it's a big clue that you're comparing two things. A few rules that go along with spelling and ER. Remember, ER is used only for one-syllable words. When we have words that end in E, we drop the E before we add ER. For example, cute becomes cuter. You do not double the E. Words that end with a Y, you change the Y to an I before adding ER. For example, pretty with the Y becomes prettier. The tricky last rule, words that end with short vowels and a consonant. So it's a short one-syllable word, that it's a short vowel and then a consonant. We double the last consonant before adding ER. And the example would be big to bigger. You've doubled that G. If it is not a word that has any of these special spellings, then you just add the ER on the end. Adjectives that compare more than two nouns, we call them superlative adjectives. They're used to compare 3 or more. Or another way to remember it, another way to say it, is more than 2. For these, we use EST. Example, that is the biggest book I have ever seen. The youngest students in the school are in the preschool classroom. So again, I have ever seen, that's a pretty good clue that it's more than 2. Again, you can kind of guess, I've seen more than 2 books. The youngest students, again, we guess that there are more than 2 students in the whole school. so we use EST. Again, young would be one of those words that I was talking about. Doesn't end in an E, doesn't end in a Y. It's not a one-syllable word with a vowel consonant, so we just add the EST. Review of the rules for adding EST. EST is only used with one-syllable words, and we follow the same rules with ER. So if it ends in an E, we drop the E before adding EST. If it ends with a Y, we change the Y to an I before adding EST. And words that end with a short vowel and a consonant, so they're short words, vowel, consonant right at the end, we double the last consonant before adding EST. Special thank you to these websites for pictures and information. And that is our review of adjectives and comparing with adjectives using ER and EST. Bye.